The world have the habit of making room for the man whose words and action shows that he knows where he's going. Well, I welcome you to another exciting edition of your favorite show on TV, 15 Minutes with Pastors. My name is Kel Everest. Good afternoon. Today in the show, we'll be looking at what I titled Be Positive. And we'll be going to the street to bring you updates from the street. And also we'll be bringing you our Pastor of the Week. And we'll be listening to some of his messages. All of this coming to you after this time out. Don't forget that this show is brought to you by TV Express, supported by BJI Chris Collections, Joy House Hotels, Image Medials, and Imami Beauty Hubs and Lifestyle. See you after this time out.
My name is Bolanle Oluchi, and you're watching The Pastor.
The Pastor.
The Pastors.
This is a show that brings you up close and personal with pastors. I'm still your host, Kel Everest, and this is The Pastors. Welcome back to the show. I'm still your host, Kel Everest, and this is 15 Minutes with Pastors. Positive mind. Positive mind produce positive lives. Negative minds produce negative lives. Positive thoughts are always full of faith and hope. Negative thoughts are always full of fear and doubt. Some people are afraid to hope because they have been hurt so many times in life. They have had so many disappointments. They don't think they can face the pain of another one. Therefore, they refuse to hope, so they won't be disappointed. This avoidance of hope is a type of protection against being hurt. Disappointment hurts. So rather than being hurt again, many people simply refuse to hope or to believe that anything good would ever happen to them. This type of behavior sets up a negative lifestyle. Everything becomes negative because the thoughts are negative. Remember Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7. For as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Many years ago, I was extremely negative. I always said that if I thought two positive thoughts in a row, my mind would get in a cramp. My whole philosophy was this: if I don't expect anything good to happen, I won't be disappointed when it doesn't. I had encountered so many disappointments in life, so many devastating things had happened to me, that I was afraid to believe that anything good might happen. I had a terribly negative outlook on everything. Since my thoughts were all negative, so was my mouth, and therefore so was my life. When I really began to study the word, to trust God to restore me, one of the first things I realized was that the negativism had to go. In Matthew chapter 8 verse 13, Jesus tells us that it will be done for us as we have believed. The King James Version said, "As thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee." Everything I believed was negative, so naturally, many negative things happened to me. This doesn't mean that you and I can get anything you want by just thinking about it. God has a perfect plan for each and every one of us, and we can't control him with our thoughts and words, but we must think and speak in agreement with his will and plan for us. If you don't have any idea what God's plan is for you at this point, at least begin by thinking, well, I don't know God's plan, but I know he loves me. Whatever he does, it will be good, and I'll be blessed. Begin to think positively about your life. Practice being positive in each situation that arises, even if whatever that is happening in your life at that moment is not good. Expect God to bring good out of it. As he has promised in his word, all things work together for good. We are assured and know that God, being a partner in the labor, all things work together and are fitting into plan for good and to those who love God and are called according to his designs and purpose. That is coming from Romans chapter 8 verse 28. This scripture does not say that all things are good, but it does say that all things work together for good. You are still watching 15 Minutes with the Pastors. We go on a commercial break now to bring you update from the street. We took to the streets to find out from the public how we can live a positive life. See you after this time out.
My name is Bolanle Oluchi, and you're watching The Pastor.
The Pastor.
The Pastors. This is a show that brings you up close and personal with pastors. I'm still your host, Scale Everest, and this is The Pastors.
The right use of mind depends on individual discipline and the psychological psyche of the personality that is involved. And for you to have a correct mind means you must have a vision. Outside vision and purpose, the mind can also be fluctuating. And that's why we are having all manners of psychic problems in the world now. And then to manage mind, there's what we call dynamism of the mind, where your inner chambers of your mind is being focused on your dreams, being brought again to the physical realm, whereby practically you are doing what you think, and as you are thinking, you are making it. For example, you have a drawing of a structure in your mind, you bring it up, print it out, place it in the at your own disposal. As more as you wake up, that's why the Bible said, write down your vision. Habakkuk chapter 2. Bible says, write down your vision. Once you look at this vision, your mind keeps speaking, I must be. And at that point, the physical become the picture that you had already in your mind, physically seen. God bless you.
My name is Bolanle Oluchi, and you're watching The Pastor.
The Pastor.
The Pastors. This is a show that brings you up close and personal with pastors. I'm still your host, Scale Everest, and this is The Pastors. Welcome back to the show. I'm still your host, Scale Everest, and this is 15 Minutes with the Pastors. In Romans chapter 12, verse 16, the Apostle Paul tells us to readily adjust ourselves to people and things. The idea is that we must learn to become the kind of person who plans things, but who doesn't fall apart if that plan doesn't work out. Recently, I had an excellent opportunity to practice this principle. Even a person who is really positive won't have everything work out the way he planned it all the time. But the positive person can go ahead and decide to enjoy himself no matter what happens. The negative person never enjoys anything. A negative person is no fun to be with. He brings a gloomy overcast to every project. There is a heaviness about him. He is a complainer, a murmurer, and a fault finder. No matter how many good things are going on, he will always seem to spot one thing that could be a potential problem. When I was in my days of extreme negativism, I could walk into someone's home that had been newly decorated, and rather than seeing and commenting on all the lovely surroundings, I would spot a corner of wallpaper that was loose or a smudge on the window. I am so glad that Jesus has set me free to enjoy the good things in life. I am free to believe that with faith and hope in Him, the bad things can be turned around for good. If you are a negative person, don't feel condemned. Condemnation is negative. I am sharing these things so you can recognize your problem with being negative and begin to trust God to restore you, not to get you to become negative about your negativity. The pathway to freedom begins when we face the problem without making excuses for it. I am sure that if you are a negative person, there is a reason for it. But remember, as a Christian, according to the Bible, you are a new person. Well, this is all we have for you for this week edition. We now bring you our Pastor of the Week. And our Pastor of the Week is Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo. Pastor Biodun was born on January 1st in 1976, and he is the first son of the family of 4 and attended the University of Ilorin when he was rusticated for courtesan, before he rounded up at University of Benin and found Christ. He started as a drummer, which he later left to pursue his calling. Koza started as a non-governmental organization NGO in Ilorin, Kwara State in 1999 with a very small congregation. He married his wife in the year 2000 at a very tender age, and together they built the church. They have 4 children today. Koza have 5 branches with 4 major ordained pastors in Ilorin, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Dubai. Pastor Biodun believed that every individual placed on earth is not to take side, but to take over. And he is an exemplary leader as he has not just instilled that mindset into his church followers, he chose it in his lifestyle. Well, this is our pastor of the week, Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo. We now bring you some messages from our pastor of the week to wrap up the show. When we come back, we'll be saying goodbye. See you after this time out.
Your life goes in the direction of your words. I said even in the circular words, Will Smith, all these guys are beginning to embrace. They teach it right now in the business world. A lot of Christians are going through self-sabotage. You are emptying yourself by the things you're saying. But Pastor Biodun, that's reality. I thought you said we should know where we are. Know it. I thought you said we should see where we're going. See it. See it, and the next thing you do is to seize it. You seize it. And how you seize it? Your words. The just shall live by faith. I don't care how much you look haggard and you claim you are spiritual. If you don't have control over your mouth, you are not spiritual. You talk. There's something called evil speaking. Google it after the service. On your Google, just type evil speaking. Look at all the scriptures about them. One of the major problems of those who think they are spiritual is that they speak evil of other people. That is how a lot of people think they are spiritual. But if you are spiritual, you will not say evil about people. It won't even come out of your mouth. I don't even know how to share evil news. Do you know there are people we know that have died and I've not told my wife? I don't even know how to sit there and this person died. And then I say, don't cry, don't do this. I don't know how to share evil news. Maybe it's my weakness. I don't know how to open my mouth and be pouring evil into you. To leave you better or to leave you worse? How will I do that? I can't do it. I'm not saying that's right, but it's just a weakness. I don't know. That's why it looks as if sometimes I don't know how to confront people. Because I don't know how to talk to you and you feel less when I'm done. I hate it. I want to talk to you and you feel like taking the world. When I'm done. Tap your neighbor, say, monitor your words. Say it this way, say, if you monitor your words, you are actually monitoring your life. See, guys, don't stop victim mindsets. Nothing's working in our industry again. You know, we don't know people. You know, people like us are the first to be crushed. When elephants are fighting, the ants will suffer. Now you are calling yourself an ant. Stop talking that way. Let me tell you something. Apart from the fact that spiritually you are instructing angels and you are speaking in the atmosphere, apart from that, listen, if you've not been listening to me, listen to me now. You believe yourself more than anybody else. You just don't know how much you believe in yourself. And what you are saying, you are listening. And that is informing your low self-esteem. And that is making you cover many, that has put some things in you that is making you cover up and you're hurting those you should be loving. They are not your problem. You are your problem. Let me give you a solution. It's bad to think wrong thoughts. Because when you think wrong thoughts, you will say it. Out of the abundance of your heart, one day you will speak it. But even if it hangs at the tip of your tongue, hold it. Hold it. Imagine when God got to the earth in Genesis chapter number 1. And they saw that it was dark, he kept quiet. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But the trouble is, that abundance of the heart, one day you will speak it. How many of you have said things and after saying them you were surprised? That was you, that's your content. That's what's on your inside. I am not part of those who will believe that, because he was drunk, he said this. He only had boldness after taking alcohol to say what was on his inside. Am I talking? Ajaban singing Mamojuluwe. When a dog is crazy, you should know the owner. It's in him. Somebody was recruiting for an American football coach. And he was trying to engage the coach to say, what do I do? What kind of person do you want? And he said, do you know this particular player that they push him down and he stays on the ground? He said, I know them, but that's not who we want here. He said, do you know that particular footballer that they push him down and he gets up again? He said, that's not who I want. I want the guy that pushes everybody down.
My name is Bolanle Oluchi, and you're watching The Pastor.
The Pastor.
The pastors. This is a show that brings you up close and personal with pastors. I'm still your host, Kel Everest, and this is The Pastors. Welcome back to the show. I'm still your host, Kel Everest, and this is 15 Minutes with Pastors. Hope you did enjoy that wonderful message from our pastor of the week, Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo. Well, this is all we have for you for this week. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for investing your time with us. Thank you for being there. We really appreciate your time. See you next week with another exciting edition. See you and bye for now.